Welcome to Hey Clarity. I'm your host, Lindsay, and today we're opening the Akashic Records on the full moon in Cancer. Make a note or look up what was going on in your life on July 5th of 2024. That is the corresponding new moon in Cancer. So be curious about what has unfolded in your life since then, what themes may have come up, what story may be playing out in your life. So go look at the calendar, see what you were doing, check your notes and things you were working on, and see what may have come to fruition since then. The questions that we're going to ask about the full moon in Cancer are: what is the energy of this full moon? How can we work with it? What story has unfolded since the new moon in Cancer on July 5th, 2024? What is being illuminated for us at this full moon? And then what's the most important message we need to know about the full moon in Cancer? Let's get into it. What is the energy of this full moon in Cancer? They're showing me this mechanism where there's like a ball in the center, and then there's this kind of rotating case around the ball, and it's rotating and it's rotating. And they're giving me the words like capsule or encapsulated. And they're there's two energies. There's almost like the structure and the casing and how that rotates. And then there's also this core, this ball in the center, and how that rotates. So they're saying there's two energies. There's the rotating of the movement of this external structure, they're calling it structuring. And then feels like the inner ball, this rotating ball, is more us, like a person. So it's almost like how the external world goes round and how that rotates, and the difference between our individual, our personal life, and how that rotates. So there's two energies and the difference between them. Anything else to be more clear about that? What is the energy? They're saying two differences. Notice the difference between how the world runs, how the world works, how the world rotates, and how you do. How do you run? How do you roll? How do you rotate in your personal life? And they're saying person with life. A person with life versus this external world, external consciousness. Interesting. How can we work with this energy? They're showing us kind of snapping off the external mechanism that rotates, getting it off the rolling ball and just focusing on the rolling ball. They're like the person with life. Focus on the person with life. You. Your life. Your internal world. Your immediate environment. Your life. They're daily, every day. Your regular, everyday life. And how that runs, how that rolls. So how can we work with it? They're having us snap off this external part that's been clicked on this ball. Snap off the external world. And really I'm just your world, you person with life. They're roll with it. Roll with your life. And don't be so concerned about how the external world is functioning, working, or not working well. And make sure that your life is working well for you. So that's how we can work with it, is really kind of stop paying attention to how the external world is functioning or dysfunctioning, not functioning. What story has unfolded since the new moon in Cancer on July 5th, 2024? What story has unfolded? They're saying capacity and home. Home of the capacity. Your capacity for the things you experience in life. Your tolerance level, the threshold. And it feels like the removal of subjects, objects, things, experiences that haven't allowed your body to feel like home, like haven't felt balanced or given you this like homeostasis. So the story that has unfolded is that we have popped off that external structure, the other world around us that moves and rotates around us. This thing encompasses you. But like they're saying, but it's not necessarily you. And so we have snapped off that piece, where that's what's become clear is like those structures that are not functioning well for us to feel like we're at home in ourselves and in our lives. So home, they're saying, and capacity, like the home of capacity, is the story that has unfolded for us since July 5th. Anything else you guys want to? They're saying home field. And something about home field advantage. Like, you know, when we say that, home field advantage, and like when you feel at home, when your environment feels like home, when you feel like home in your body, when the people around you feel like home, they're kind of like, man, like, don't you just function in the world better? Like, haven't things just gotten easier since you found your place of home? You're not exhausting all these, they're saying, extraordinary measures of yourself. You're not draining or bleeding yourself dry, trying to like defend or fight or exert so much energy against the things that don't feel like home or that are not functioning well in your life. And this could be a location, an environment that wasn't working for you. It could be people, lots of different things. But they're saying like home of capacity and like home to the capacity. What is being illuminated for us at this full moon in Cancer? What is being illuminated for us at this full moon in Cancer? It's done. They're just saying it's done. A closed chapter, like the chapter has closed, and they're like, you're on the other side, or you're in the process, you're just almost on the other side. So like we may be at different waves of this threshold, but it's like you're on the other side of those experiences that were destabilizing, like the foundations that were crumbling, and they're like almost like they're showing the earth crumbling beneath our feet, or a foundation of stone breaking and crumbling beneath our feet, and we've leapt, like it's crumbled below us, and we had to take a leap off of that ground because it was unstable, and we've landed on like a piece of slate stone on solid ground. And they're like, it's almost like the first step, the next step. You've landed. And it's like you look back and you're like, sheesh, like look how far I've come, or look what could have been if I did not take this step. But it's more important to not be looking at what you left behind or what's crumbled behind you, beneath you, behind you. And it's more important to be like, whoa, like I'm on solid ground. I'm on a solid foundation now. And it's like one step in front of the other, one like slate path, one slate step stone in front of the other. And there is a path now. There is a path. But it seems like the focus is like just the first couple steps. You don't need to see like far, you don't need to see the horizon yet. You don't need to see the full landscape yet. Almost like catch your breath. We need time to catch our breath after this landing in a safe place, in this new home, in this new environment, whatever that means to you. So again, what's being illuminated for us is a bit of like how far you've come. And we don't always take a moment or take the time to like look at that and like see how hard we've worked. Like it's hard work. They're saying to move on, to move forward, to begin again. And we don't always stop to appreciate how far we've come and what we've done, what we've gone through to get to where we are now, this pathway, this next pathway. What's the most important message we need to know about the full moon in Cancer? They're saying it's come so hard, unfortunately. It's a lot of hard work to get to a place where you can move forward in something. And I'm just getting like the records, they're just saying like they're so empathetic towards our struggling, our pain and our suffering and all of the hardship that we go through, the adversity that we go through in our lives. I'm just getting like empathetic, just to know that like there are empathetic eyes on you. There's a lot of pride. Your guides, your angels, your passed on loved ones, and people in your living material world life are proud of you. It feels more in spirit. It feels more of the unseen energies and forces that are more intent on wanting you to know how proud they are of you. And just, there are sources of support who fully recognize your hard work and all of your effort. And so they're saying like, don't like underestimate that. And if you can feel it, like how can you feel that? Like really take that in, that there are guided sources of support that are just in love with you and so proud of you and are just so empathetic to your journey, to your experience in life. I'm seeing like clapping, like an applause. So they're like the unfolding of this story, and that you deserve to see this as an accomplishment and as an achievement, and as a great opportunity. Okay. So that was the Akashic Records collective reading on the full moon in Cancer. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what those messages mean to you. I'm curious to hear. I'm very clear. I know what they mean to me. And I even looked at like my notes to see what was going on in my life around July 5th. And it was my first time visiting Asheville, and I had spent 2 years searching for home. I had very specific things that I was looking for. And it was a really rough journey getting here. Really painful, a lot of grief, and being here during the storm and having to leave and come back. And it's just so clear that this is where I want to be. And now I'm here and I've been settling in. So I know that when I look back on my story, it's the story that's unfolded under this Cancer lunation is me finding home. And it's exactly the new moon to this full moon that I'm like, from finding it and settling into it and all the drama that happened for me to get here. So that's pretty wild. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time.